The Lies of P is one of the most highly anticipated Souls-like games of 2023, and it's finally here. If you're a fan of the Soulsborne genre and Souls-like games, The Lies of P will have some familiar gameplay mechanics and features. Whether you're a seasoned Souls-like veteran or The Lies of P is your introduction to the genre, I'm here to provide you with a couple of beginner tips in order to make your experience a little bit better as you explore the world of Crot. Choosing your class is an important decision that you'll make in the beginning of the game, however, you are allowed some adaptability later on throughout the game. The three starting classes and weapons are the balanced class with the straight sword, the dexterity, high stamina based class with the rapier, and the strength based class with the greatsword. If you're unsure of your playstyle, it's always a safe bet to start with the balanced build. If you prefer to be highly evasive and do quick attacks, go with the dexterity build, and if you prefer to just smash your way through everything, go with the strength build. The standard feature in all Souls-like games is the rest point, more commonly known as a campfire, and in the Lies of P, this is known as the Stargazer. From the Stargazer, you can level up your 6 main stats. Make sure you're scaling your stats appropriately. For instance, I have a dexterity build, so I scale to vigor and technique in order to increase my stamina and the speed in which I attack. Activating a Stargazer or resting at a Stargazer will serve as a respawn point for you in the game, and it will also cure your health, your stamina, and recharge your pulse cells, which are used for your Fable arts. Additionally, it will increase your weapon durability back to 100%. The more you attack an enemy, the more damage that your weapon takes and decreases its durability. Your durability bar can be found in the bottom right corner of the screen. To repair your weapon's durability, on controller, press down on the D-pad and then hold down either X on Xbox or square on PlayStation. And if you're using a keyboard, I believe that the key is G that you need to hold down. If you're stuck in a boss fight situation and you need to repair your durability immediately, you can use a urgent repair tool in order to increase your durability back to 100%. Now let's go into some combat tips. How you approach combat depends on your playstyle and your build type. For example, my dexterity build allows me to dodge quickly, I have a high amount of stamina, and I can unleash a quick flurry of attacks. Where my attacks lack in strength, they make up in volume. Using heavier weapons such as the starting greatsword will allow you to do a lot of damage, however the attacks will be slower and you'll use a lot more stamina. Keep in mind when you approach combat that different enemies have different attack styles. For instance, dogs are faster and they telegraph less. Humanoid puppets move at a more normal pace, and they also telegraph their shots and can even delay their shot. Another combat tip is when facing multiple enemies, try to get them to line up similar to how I have them here so that you can hit them both simultaneously. This prevents you from having to switch in between two enemies and having the possibility of your auto lock locking on to the wrong opponent. You can also use throwable items in the game such as the sawtooth or thermite. As you can see in this clip right here, I use the sawtooth when being approached by multiple enemies. That way I can, do a little bit of damage at a distance. Also, possibility of slowing them down a little bit so I can focus on one enemy at a time. As you're navigating through Crot, make sure to be mindful of those jump scare opponents. When you're crossing through an archway or a doorway, sometimes in the corner there will be an enemy like this dog that you saw right here. Additionally, be aware of bait. What bait is you're traveling around and you see an enemy out in the open, you go to attack them, and then you get ambushed from the side. As you can see in this clip right here, I went to attack that puppet on the ground and then I got shot at. I go to attack the shooter and then another enemy pops out from the side and ambushes me. Always practice good situational awareness, especially when there's multiple points of entry in an area that you're traversing. If you're finding that a build is too difficult to use, or you want to adapt to the playstyle of a certain boss, or just try something new, you can always buy new weapon hilts from the vendor. Changing these hilts will allow you to use different weapons such as the straight sword and the great sword. Just be mindful of how your stats are scaled. For instance, if you're a strength build and you pick a faster weapon, then you're going to deplete your stamina faster because your stamina isn't the same as it would be if you had a build that was based around a weapon like a rapier. Next, let's talk about parrying. Parrying and blocking is a little less forgiving than it is in a game like Sekiro. In Lies of P, depending on your stats, if you hold down block and get hit, it will drain your health bar and then slowly recover it. And that's where perfect parries come into place. Blocking an opponent just as they're about to hit will allow you to parry them. When an opponent turns red and goes into an unblockable mode, that's when you have to do a perfect parry. Before you go in to fight the first boss in the game, make sure to practice a little bit on the dummy. A unique feature of the Lies of P is the FABLE arts. FABLE arts are specialized attacks based on the weapons that you have. For instance, my rapier does this flurry attack, and other weapons in the game have their own unique FABLE arts. Certain bosses have weakness and immunity, so make sure you're switching your FABLE arts depending on the boss that you're fighting. And my last tip is remember that these games are designed to be hard. You're going to die multiple times over and over and over again. The key is to stay persistent and be adaptable. If you are trying something and it's just not working, switch it up. Take a break, put the controller down, walk away for a second, come back, and I promise you, you'll get it the next time. Now, obviously, I didn't cover everything in this video because I wanted to keep it relatively short. So if you have any other tips or tricks, please feel free to leave them down in the comments. And as always, if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button. And I would ask that you please consider subscribing. Subscribing is absolutely free to do, especially if you like Souls-like content, because I do a ton of it. I've been RivTech, thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.